Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nabila Lutfia Zahra. I'm from English Education Department of Universitas Kuningan, and in this occasion I will presenting my review international journal to fulfill the achievement of academic speaking and listening. In this occasion, I will explain my review journal into several parts. The first one is about title, and the second one is about journal identity. The third one is author's identity. The fourth is rationale, and the fifth is research objective. The sixth is literature review. The seventh is method. The eighth is findings, and the last one is conclusion. The title of this journal is The Impact of Social Media on EFL Learners' Speaking Skill, a survey study involving EFL teachers and students. And then the journal identity. This journal is published by ResearchGate in 2019, Volume 6, Issue 3, 2019, page 199 to 215, and this journal can be accessed online at www.hlr.com, and this international standard serial number is 2376760X. And then next to be author identity. This author identity is two people. The first is Ehsan Namaziandos. He is the PhD candidate, Department of English Faculty Humanities, Shakarkord Branch, Islamic Azad University, Shakarkord, Iran. And the second one is Mehdi Nastri. He is the PhD candidate, Department of English Faculty of Humanities, Shakarkord Branch, Islamic Azad University, Shakarkord, Iran. Okay, the next is about rationale. Language teaching is always has been facing various difficulties in the process of speaking successfulness. In this era, the students of the 21st century can never learn how to speak by drills or word learn by heart. He would rather be motivated to learn if the learning itself is interesting and entertaining. Social media, as taking most of students' time, can be drawn off as an educating tool if used properly. So the social media in this digital era become the part of life. Speaking skills very vitally important for EFL learners in communication. So the author researched this study about the impact social media on EFL learners. Okay, next is about research objective. Here is two research objectives from research question. The first one of the research objective is to find out what extent social media influence students' speaking skill, and the second one is to find out how can social media be helpful in EFL context to enhance students' speaking proficiency. Okay, next is about literature review. So in this journal, here's the literature review. EFL teaching and learning has been influenced by technological innovation, and many tools have been added to the English class. So there are so many facilities, as we know, like a laptop, handphone, although it is in hardware or software. Many scholars believe that the appropriate use and the successfulness integration of ICT and social media in the classroom can be reduced the implements that prevent EFL learners from the mystery of the speaking skill. So here's the several points in literature review. The first is speaking skill. As we know, speaking is very important language skill for learners and students, for learners and teachers. Speaking is the process of building the sharing meaning through the use of verbal and non-verbal symbols in variety of contexts. In applied linguistics, speaking has a set description, speaking as a social and situation-based activity, and speaking as an interaction. Speaking is a skill which deserves attention, and learners often need to be able to speak with confidence in order to carry out many their cost basic transactions. So, the speaking skills in language learners is very useful to communicate with others people, although in the class or in outside of class. The next point is about issue of the oral production class in the English department. Several issues on the oral production in EFL learners is because the current oral production class, the teacher is very centered, and the oral language that students learn at the classroom does not help in saying their communicative competencies which are mostly needed in the real situation. The next point is EFL student speaking problems. There are several problems in this journal. The first is inhibition. One of the main problems is when students try to say things in a foreign language in the classroom and they get inhibited. Much of their worry is boiled over making mistakes, fearful of criticism, so they feel shy of the attention that their speech attracts. And the second problem is lack of typical knowledge. It is highly important for teachers to engage students in oral communication in topics they are familiar of them. Students usually complain about the having nothing to say in certain topics simply because the topic is not suitable of them. So the students can't say anything in the class because of they didn't know anything. And the next problem is low or uneven participation. Another problem in speaking class is that the students can never be the same level of proficiency, and as a result some of them may speak a lot, and there is a tendency of some learners to dominate other students. And the last problems in this journal is the mother tongue use. One of the most frequently done issue in classroom is the use of mother tongue. In fact, students sometimes can never be blamed for using the mother tongue. And then the next literature review point is about technology and learning tools in the FL classroom. As I said before, there are so many kinds of technology that we can use in EFL class, although hardware or software. The most important is the ability of using that, how to we manage the technology. And then the next point of literature review is social media. So what is social media? Social media is very familiar in this era. The meaning of the term social media itself can be derived from two words, that is social and networks. The first is social, which means connect with society, and the why is organized in which they meet and spend time with other people. And the second is network. It means a group of two or more computer systems linked together. Social media is various kind could be considered as a remedy, as these materials have potential to attract the students by being flexible, entertaining, interactive, and provide an excellent chance for learners to express themselves in a self-confident way. Indeed, the use of social media as a tool to improve students' listening and speaking communicative skill would find an enthusiastic welcome from the learner's part, as it goes hand with their interests. Move to method of this journal. The research method in this journal is using qualitative and quantitative approach. The authors combine both of them, and then the participant of this research is 100 EFL teachers and 100 EFL learners at the Department of Foreign Language at Islamic Azad University of Iran. For data collect, the authors or the researcher use a questionnaire to participants, and there are 8 questions were included, and different types of questions were used, starting from open and close to ended to multiple choice question for the 100 teachers and 100 students of University Islamic Azadi. Next is about finding of this journal. The general findings of the current study reveal that the use of social media is becoming broader among learners as well as teachers. They both make use of it in different ways to achieve different goals, including educational ones. Besides the fact that social media provide time and shorten the distance, they create a relaxing context for learners to talk free and express their idea without any fear of embarrassment or lack confidence. Therefore, they help the learners to overcome many speaking difficulties and boost their speaking skill. Okay, the last is about conclusion of this journal. Technology and social media in particular can be used to enrich learners' speaking ability. Teachers then need to be flexible to their students' needs and provide as much space for the students to express their idea and develop their oral competence. In oral production course, technology should hold a prominent place. Similarly, teachers should have competency required for building and operating technology-based course to achieve the design objectiveness, and EFL teachers should consider the usefulness of social media in higher education with ignoring the contribution of traditional methods and techniques. The integration of social media in EFL context will provide access to encourage the language activity and even more to enhance the students' motivation to learn speaking, which is believed to be the main factor that lack the traditional classroom. So the closing statement from me about this topic and this journal is that technology development must be utilized as well as possible. The use of social media is very influential in the variation of learning speaking skill, especially for EFL teachers and students. So we as a society, we as a teacher, we as a student must take the advantage of the technology of the social media as best and as wisely as possible. Okay, maybe that's all I can explain about the review international journal from me with the title The Impact of Social Media on EFL Learners Speaking Skill, a survey study involving EFL teachers and students. Maybe that's all from me. Thank you for your nice attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.